here, we keep getting more grass.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Our property ends where that orange stick is.
Oh,
so.
Hey everyone, so back on corn harvest now. We finished up soybean harvest yesterday. I didn't get any of it on video. Right now we're actually working at the bin site here. At Suntville to go get some lunch. And so I gotta run the grain cart combine and I'm keeping an eye on the dryer. Dad's off spraying. So at the moment it's just me. I'm going to dump on the truck here. This should fill that up right now. So right now, got the truck parked just in the driveway. We can't load the truck while it sits over the pit. It's too tall, the auger won't reach. So we got to pull it off the pit, load the truck, then pull it back on, and keep going around and around and around. I figure dump the truck, and then the cart, the truck, and the combine will be empty. By then, Phil will show up. We'll probably eat our lunch while the truck is still dumping. It takes a little bit. The corn isn't even that bad, it's not that wet. So it's running through the dryer pretty fast, which is good. Good thing, because then we're not burning so much propane trying to dry the corn. And then this doesn't take so long to empty out and doesn't fill up so fast. It'll keep up with us a little bit easier. Even though I'm working right here, I'm eventually going to catch it. It's half full right now, I just packed, and I'm dumping another 1,000 in right now. So a couple hours, this will be full. We'll fill up the machines, and then it's just a waiting game. Phil came back with some lunch. Truck is half dumped. I'm walking back out to the combine. I did leave it running. I didn't want to just shut it off. I was still hot. So it's been sitting there for probably 15 minutes now, just idling. So we're gonna walk out, eat my sandwich, get back rolling. Still working on the field up front here by the grain bins. I'm almost done. Still quite a bit of room in the wet bin, which is good. This field should all fit on the wet bin today, and then we'll go across the valley and try to open up the field in the back. By then, I think stuff is going to start filling up, and I don't know how much we're going to get done in the back. Tomorrow, they're calling for rain, so probably won't fill up the combine tonight. Probably leave this empty, because you can't fit this in any of the buildings here. The combine's too tall. The cart and the semi will both fit in the buildings, and they also have a tarp. We don't have a tarp or anything for the combine, so we'll probably just leave this empty. Knock on wood, everything's been going good today. Have a super early start. Took our time. You know, I blew out some air filters, greased the machine and stuff. Right now I'm rolling at about 4 miles an hour. The weather has been super nice for like the past 4 or 5 days, all through the weekend. High 60s, low 70s, awesome. Only have a couple more stops of corn harvest to do down at our southern farms, and then we will be able to finally go back home with the combine and machines and go cut corn up there. That's always fun, working up at the home farm. The farm I'm at right now is pretty fun. This is kind of like our home base for our southern farms, you know, where we work and stuff mostly, keep a lot of our equipment. So it's kind of like a home farm to us, I guess. So it's always fun working here too, but some of the other farms are kind of a pain in the butt to get to and more of a residential area, and it's just not as fun. Just finished up the field up by the grain bins. I'm gonna dump what I have on me on the combine, onto the truck that's still sitting over the pit. I'm going to be taking a drive through the valley into the backfield that you can't see from here and start opening up that field. I have no idea what the corn looks like back here. Dad does all like the side dressing and spraying, so he was back here probably June, early summer. Usually I try to mow kind of the sides of this little trail we have here so it doesn't get overgrown and trees start coming in and then you can't drive through here with the grain head, but for some reason I just never got to it this summer. We're pretty busy with the tile plow and tile work, so a lot of stuff around the farm, just like cutting grass and stuff, got put on the back burner a lot. This little tree here is going to give me trouble. This is going to have to go soon before it gets any bigger. Of an incline here, camera doesn't give it justice. Okay, go ahead and go up front. Because we're working across the valley now, the grain cart's a little bit slower and having a hard time keeping up with the combine when I'm in nice long straight rows. So when he's gone, I try to do some of the shorter rows and open up some of these other corners. This is like an L-shaped field, so there's not just 2 headlamps, there's like 4 or 5. And I usually try to do those while the grain cart's gone. I'm also not filling up the grain cart right full because of the steep hill and the kind of the rough terrain driving through the valley. There's no need for that. I mean, we're still pretty close. Right now I'm just doing another headland here. I'm going to open up this other section of the field. And when the grain cart gets back here, I usually put 2 combine dumps on them, which is about 500 bushel. So when he comes back here, I'll get back in the long rows, get them filled up right away, and then I'll come back and do some of the shorter stuff where it's a little more time consuming. That way, if I just stick in the long rows with the combine, I'm just going to be sitting there waiting for them, twiddling my thumbs for 5 to 10 minutes. Well, it's later in the afternoon now. It's about a little after 5 o'clock. Got the wet bin full, the truck's full, the grain cart's almost full. We filled up our 500 bushel gravity wagon, so that's full too. So yeah, everything is going to be full. I'm going to finish filling up the grain cart. I'm not going to fill up the combine. I don't know how much rain we're supposed to get. I don't think much. But we're not going to finish this farm anyways tonight unless we sit around and twiddle our thumbs while the grain dryer runs for a couple hours. So there's really no point for me to load up the combine and have that sit and risk getting that rained on. So I'm just going to top off the grain cart and then I'm going to drive back through the valley and shut it down. See what the weather brings tomorrow. Hopefully not much, and maybe we can even start back combining tomorrow afternoon, finish this farm, and then hit the road again and go to the next field. Got the old gravity wagon full. That's gonna back in the barn. I better go watch him. That's good. Well, it's the next morning here. It did rain last night. We ran the dryer till about like 10 o'clock. we had Phil come shut it off. He only lives a couple miles away from here. So after we went home, we left this running, and then Phil came and turned it off before he went to bed. Got the 43 on the 500 bushel gravity box. So it's another day later here, and we're back on corn here. We ended up moving all the machines over to an 80-acre piece that's kind of out in the middle of a random area. We only have this one piece, and that's it. And it's, I don't know, our next piece is probably 8 miles or so away, something like that. I don't know if it's that far, but it's pretty close. Yeah, I got moved over here. Definitely going to be here all day tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see how the day goes. The semi-truck is definitely the weakest link. Sent Phil home about 3 o'clock, and I've just been dumping on the grain cart just by stopping while it's parked here, and then waiting for Dad. I've been sitting here for probably 10 minutes or more now, probably 15, almost 20 minutes waiting for the semi. What's funny about this is we're cutting corn, and right across the street is our local ethanol plant, and the corn here is actually really dry, and dry enough to actually go in the ethanol plant. We tried calling them to see if we can take it direct, because if that's the case, we could have been going like crazy, and we would have kept Phil here and running the grain cart, and the combine wouldn't have been able to keep up. But we called there. They're broke down. They're shut down until next week or something like that. So unfortunately, Dad's got to drive all the way to the bin site, which is over 10 miles, I think. 10 miles away. He's got to go dump and then come back here. So I'm just been sitting here. I am close to the city limits, and I've been out of food since like noon. I don't know if the camera's dark or... I really debated on getting some like Grubhub or Postmates or something. I don't know if they do it here or not. I've never really used those apps too often. I only used them a couple times in bigger cities. I've been out of food since like 12:30, and it's 6:42 right now, so getting kind of hungry. I should have tried to order Postmates or Grubhub or Uber Eats, whatever, one of the food services, probably an hour ago, but Dad should be back in hopefully in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I've been sitting here a while now. Usually when I'm sitting here, I take time to clean my windows, kind of check everything over. I do not have the work truck or anything with me. I should point that out. That's why I was going to order food, because the work truck was here. I would have just took that to go get food uptown, which is only like half a mile away. So when I leave here tonight, I'm going to jump in the semi with Dad. We're going to go to the bin site and then jump in the pickup. That's just kind of how it worked out today, and moving equipment and stuff. So if something broke down, I would have been kind of SOL. But knock on wood, nothing's happened yet. I did jump out and fire up the 8130 so it's warm, so you can dump it. The temps are cooling off pretty fast here now. I think after we dump on the semi, I got a full load sitting here with the cart and the combine. We're going to fill up the machines. I left the long rows. There's some nice long rows here to my right. I left those for that reason, so we can load the cart and combine quick. And while I was working by myself, I did some shorter rows and weird triangle pieces, so it would take me longer to cut, where when Dad gets back, he can jump in the grain cart. We'll get on those long rows, and like every round I'll be dumping on them. So yeah, we're hauling the corn out of here, but eventually in a few months from now, I'm sure some of this will actually end up coming across the street here to our local ethanol plant. We take a lot of our corn there. Alright, so we're gonna call it a day here. We still probably got a 2-hour drive home by the time we drop the truck off and everything, then get in the pickup and drive home. Probably be another 2 hours before we actually walk in the house. $13.45. What is it, like 60 something in here? $64. $64. $14.10.
Of the lawn, can you be able to just...
We'll be back here with the plow, but we always try to keep a little bit from grass to anybody off.
Oh, well, every year we keep getting more grass.
Well, yeah, I know.
Our property ends where that orange stick is,
Okay.
so every year we keep getting more land.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If it's possible, just to like...
I mean, we've gotten close to people's grass before, and then they get upset, and then they try to sue us and stuff.
Well,
And then we have people like you guys are like, hey, get closer, our grass keeps getting longer. So it's always a guessing game, so we just kind of keep our distance.
okay, but if you could,
Yeah.
just for here.
Yep. Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So right now, in the field I'm in, rubs up against the row of houses to the subdivision, the neighborhood, whatever you want to call it. And the field in their backyards, it's like no fence, no tree line, no nothing. And when people come out in their backyard watching you, film you, whatever, you never know if they're happy to see you or upset to see you. Most of the time, if I stop and talk to somebody or they flag me down, it's been decent conversation and nobody's really ever been too upset with me ever. But in the past, we've had trouble with people before. I was just telling that lady, you know, we try to be extra careful around people's properties, you know, not get too close with the plows or the sprayer or anything like that, touch the grass, but she's not wrong. There's probably a good 10 to 15 foot of space that's actually our property, not theirs. So I'm guessing that they mow their own lawn and it's a push mower, and it just seems like they don't like doing that. And even though their yard is really small, probably would only take about 30 minutes with a push mower, I'm guessing. She wants us to get closer. I've talked to the lady once or twice before, and they ask us just about every year almost, but this was a different lady, so I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But I think that was her kid. So we'll be coming back here if we get to it. We are gonna disc this field, and we'll get a little bit closer, touch up the grass a little bit. What do you think about Mama moving the grain cart over here for us, buddy? First time driving the tractor, 8130.